Well, apart from the conditions of traffic in Amman, Jordan is actually an oasis of calm in the Middle East, surrounded as it is by conflicts and threats. And one of these threats is the misuse of chemical, biological, radiological and nuclear materials. Now, it's important to stress this misuse might not be anything to do with terrorism. It could be accidental, or it could indeed be natural.
We have this general misimpression that when you're dealing with CBRN issues that you're dealing with these security kind of situations, but security concerns, but in reality we're dealing with a whole host of other issues on the spectrum, whether it's accidental incidents of CBRN, such as an explosion at a chemical plant, for instance, or a natural incident such as a pandemic, which is a biological incident.
As an example of a biological threat is the fact that here, right now, there are 1 million Syrian refugees being hosted by Jordan, and some of them are in refugee camps. This, along with the breakdown of public sanitation and health infrastructure in southern Syria, has increased the strain on Jordan and raised the risk of biological threats such as pandemics.
Now, to help counter all these challenges, the EU has started a number of initiatives to help the both governments and people of the regions, both financially and also technically. And one of these initiatives is the foundation of a Centre of Excellence in Amman to promote regional cooperation. And it's one of a number of such centres around the world.
We're actually the only secretariat that's being hosted by a non-governmental organization, and that is the Middle East Scientific Institute for Security, MISIS, which is part of the Royal Scientific Society's broader family.
وهذه هي رسالة المبادرة.
Issues like CBRN are so sensitive in any region. We like to kind of promote a scientific approach to addressing these issues and an apolitical one. And we try to look at what role the scientific community can play in addressing these issues.
So my presentation, really, I would like to walk you through, the basis.
Last year, in 2013, we officially inaugurated the opening of a Center for Excellence here in Amman. Of course, it's due to the role Jordan is playing in the region, especially after the Syrian crisis. The center is working in a very specific way. To be more efficient, of course, the center is in contact with national focal points in the neighboring countries. And today we are launching a first project where the national focal points from Lebanon and Iraq are involved.
I would like to say that in this whole initiative that we're trying to bring to 8 different regions, the Middle East is the front runner.
From our point of view, the CBRN event, it is not really something that we can talk about it. It can happen. Also, our geographically speaking, and in virtue of the events of 1 year ago in Syria, we start to have a panic in the country for chemical weapons use, or for the use of this kind of chemicals by terrorists, any terrorist act. And we start dialogue with high officials in Lebanon to render them aware about the issue.
It all starts from what the countries say they need. We are not going there to say, now you have to do this, now you have to do that, and because we tell you what to do. No. That was the past way of working that has been scrapped completely. Now we go to a country and we sit together around the table with a questionnaire in order to do it in a structured format, where we evaluate together with the country what their needs are. And that's a role where the GRC is providing the technical expertise in the radiological nuclear and the chemical biological area.
We have many instruments in the European Commission, but there is one in particular instrument for stability. We can understand already that stability, this is the major focus. So thanks to this instrument, we can promote the regional cooperation, but also introducing new ideas. Also the concept of stability we are developing. I think this is the added value for what we are doing.
In this first phase, we are building and we are setting up a very core part of the project. That is the consultation process with the local stakeholders, with the partners in Lebanon, in Iraq, and in Jordan. This first part of the project is intended to build some kind of trust, to build a common basis for work on the upcoming activities, to understand what can be really useful for the local partners, what can be our contribution.
From our point of view, there is a need in our countries of expertise, and there is a need to cooperate with different donors, and especially the European Union, because they have the expertise.
Ideal also completely different backgrounds, so legal people, technical people, force, military or police, and so on, and have them discuss how they think they should react when something happens. And that's most of the time the most interesting event that you can, the most interesting question you can ask them. You just play a scenario and you tell them, each of them, what their role is going to be, how they're going to interact. And then you immediately see there is a need for coordination, there's need for discussion, there's need for additional training, and so on.
Any CBRN event, if it is coming from any terrorist attack or national disaster or an accident, there is no borders. We need to have some capacity at the national level, and we need also, once we have this kind of minimum of prerequisite, to make the necessary coordination with the neighboring countries. At the national level, it's not really so easy to put everybody around the table and to make coordination between all concerned bodies and ministries and directorates. And you want to cooperate with foreign countries. I believe from the beginning it was not easy, but by personal relations, mutual confidence that we need to complement each other, to share information, to share experience, and we should start to found workable mechanism for cooperation.
You know that today there are almost 40 projects, I think 34 officially running and 6 more in the pipeline, under the Center of Excellence. And they have been started from the beginning. And that was very important, to start immediately with some project implementation, and not only with discussions about future structures, about needs, about potential ideas. No, to deliver on the ground, in the field, to start building trust, to start knowing the people, and to give also a flavor for the type of support which can be delivered.
Well, I feel very positive towards this initiative, and which is, I might say, just one of the number of ways in which the EU have supported not only Jordan, but the region and broader stability and security in the region. The European Union in this particular initiative, why it's been so effective, is because it's not necessarily dictating to anybody what should be the best course of action, but they're offering us the opportunity to express what it is that we need as a region in terms of improving our safety and security on CBRN, and then tailoring projects to meet those needs.